So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop. Prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No! You can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on, so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's Zenni.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. You might have heard that live shopping is exploding, and I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront, and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. How are you? Happy Tuesday. Man, I'm pumped up today. Hang on. It is going to be a fun ride today, I am sure. We're talking about dogs. I like dogs. I have a lot of knowledge about dogs. Some people have called me a dog. Sometimes I've deserved to be called a dog. Never been a bounty hunter, though. But we're going to talk about regular dogs today. Actually, very superior dogs, competitive dogs, and the lessons you can learn about success and being a champion if you pay attention to dogs and you have a choice of what kind of champion you want to be. And we'll talk about that as we get in the show. I'll see if I can keep my thoughts straight on this. It gets a little challenging, but as usual, if you listen to the Daily Boost podcast and me, Scott Smith, you will figure out that I will somehow, some way take this thing I have called Scott Logic, throw out 15 different storylines, and at the end of the show, it will come together and you go, oh, that's what he was talking about. My God, that's insightful. I know it's a natural skill that I have. It just happens that way. You know, people have asked me why I do this show, why I show up every single day and do this Daily Boost. And I think there's a lot of preconceived notions about why I may. And I thought I'd just let you know, way back in the beginning when I did this, when I started doing the show, it wasn't to help people. It wasn't to do that sounds bad. It wasn't to motivate. It wasn't to inspire. It wasn't to coach. It wasn't to go all over the world speaking. It wasn't to have really a top 1% podcast. It wasn't that. No, it wasn't. It was just people had said, you're pretty inspiring when you do this thing. I was doing some speaking. They were hearing that and at a fitness class, and you should do more of it. And I said, okay, well, maybe I can do more of it. Wonder where I would do it. And one day podcasting came around. I said, I think I could do it on a podcast. And I started. I know it's not a big grandiose goal, is it? That's why I say explore the possibilities of life. Just kind of follow your life where it goes, because it's not big. It's not fancy. It wasn't written in stone. And yet here I am almost 20 years later, top of my game. Well, okay. Well, my game, maybe not the game. It just depends on, I know. Somebody says, Scott, you're the top of your game. Top of my game, my podcast mountain. So, we live in a competitive world. And that makes getting what we want a bit of a challenge sometimes in life, doesn't it? So if you ever found yourself missing out because somebody else beat you to the punch, there may be a simple reason. I want to talk dogs today. and how dogs can teach you about success and becoming a champion, if you will, if that's what you want. There's so many layers here. Everybody's competitive. Everybody has certain requirements they want to do. You and I are very different. There are people that are much more aggressive and much more assertive than I am that want to go to much higher levels than I do. That's cool. I don't care. And I may be way beyond you are. It doesn't matter. We're all at different levels. So you get to choose where you want to be. And that's pretty much what this show is about today. So listen very closely because I think these dogs can teach you a lesson or two. Because I am a competitive person. I think there's no doubt about that. Once I set my mind to accomplishing a goal, I'm going to do whatever it takes to get it to win. But I need to set my mind to it. I need to understand it's something that I really want. Once I do, you're not going to stop me. If I care, I care. If I don't, you'll know it. So that's who I am. Still, I am very often in my life, it has happened a ton. I have been tripped over by people who have had a bit of a different approach. Not quite as competitive as me, didn't have the quality goals about what I wanted to do. I have pretty high standards and things I like to do. I'm very competitive. I want to be top of the podium every single time, but oftentimes I have not been because of other people who should not have been at top of the podium. And the only reason they got there was because I tripped. So when I decided to enter the dog agility world, it's an interesting world. If you ever do that, you've seen them where the dogs do the obstacle courses on television. I've done that with my dog, got a couple of championships on him now. And what people don't understand is you're working with the dog. You're working with the dog. So I'm thinking, I'm just going to go run the course and win. That's what I'm going to do. But then Levi has his own ideas too. But I met a friend during this process. Great friend, great dog. That reminded me of a very essential mindset. And it just depends on where you are with things in this. So keep this in mind when you want to go out and slay the world, all right? His name is Jaxon. He's an Australian Shepherd. He's a cute little dog. He's a great competitor. He's incredibly consistent in his performance. I've never seen a dog more consistent. A dog go out for an entire weekend, run 15 or 16 times, and every single time run it perfectly and qualify. He might not get a ribbon. He might not take first, but he's going to get a qualification, what they call it in the agility world, so he can actually move toward his championship. He's going to get it. He runs for the queue, as we say. I never run for the queue. I don't run just to qualify, ever. Unless I'm assuming if I were going to run the Daytona 500, I might run to qualify the day before so I can get in the race. I might do that, just get in the race. Okay, but when I get in the race, I'm going to win. Every time my dog Levi and I compete against Jaxon, guess what happens? We know going in the door, and I'll look at Levi, Levi, settle down, man. We're gonna run against Jaxon this time. So settle down, man, because he's going to beat us if we don't settle down. I know it. It's our game to lose because, see, Jaxon is not faster. He's not more talented. He doesn't work harder. He's not more gifted in any possible way. He is slower. He's clumsy. He prefers play over work. He doesn't get serious or stuffy. He never does that. He doesn't get the game face on. No. Win or lose, he's always there to celebrate. Usually by taking a nap. Now, I love the attitude, and I certainly try to keep it there myself, but sometimes that competitive thing gets in there. You're like, wow, right? And you have to be, I think, sometimes, but try to enjoy the game along the way. But my dog, Levi, he has really flashy moves. He's a very high drive. He's an Australian Shepherd you got to hang on to. You put a saddle on him, have some fun. He runs fast. He wins lots of blue ribbons before he gets to take his nap, if he ever takes a nap, because he doesn't do that. He's like, let's run again. Let's go. He also crashes and burns far more often, leaving Jaxon with the prize. But not always. See, Jaxon has chosen, and his handler has chosen to be consistent, to run for the queue, to do what it takes just to get by, to be in the game, and add those queues up till they get their championship. He doesn't really care. I'm wired differently. Levi is fast to be consistent. If we choose to care, we do it, and we put a little bit of a discipline in there because we consistently practice. We consistently put our performance together. We aim for a very, very high level. Without discipline, you're not going to get that. But when you get that consistency in yourself and you're willing to take a chance and go for the goal, that's what makes a champion. And that's where I go to. So this, to me, is a choice. This is a choice that you get to choose every single day, whether it's in dog agility or whatever you do for fun or your job or your relationship or whatever. You get to choose it. You get to choose, okay, do I just kind of want to go along with the game and qualify through life? Or am I going to go for the blue ribbon, take the prize, be the champion, and that's it? And in this day and age, I got to tell you, people will complain about you going for the prize and being competitive and being the champion. They'll complain right up until you are. And then when you are, they'll celebrate you. Why? Because people have chosen to take the safer, consistent qualification route along the way. They've chosen to do that, maybe because they don't have the ability to go for the championship. Maybe, or maybe it's just who they are. It doesn't matter. They will be jealous as you do what you do. They will not be as friendly to you as you like them to be. It's not going to happen. But when you get on top of that podium, you will be the champion. And you better darn well enjoy it, because you know what? You probably fell and crashed and burned more than anybody else on your way to the top, but now you're at the top and people will celebrate you for it. So choose your path as a dog or as a person. Decide what you want. If you're going to go for it, your game is higher. If you want to dominate and excel, if you want to be there, hang on for the ride. I got news for you. 80% of the world are mediocre. They're not going to go higher than that. The 20% above that, yeah, they're pretty cool. But the 5% or the 1%, that's where you want to be. If that's who you want to be, then go for it. But expect that nobody is really going to appreciate what you've done to get there until you get there. And then, even then, some of them will say, they were kind of lucky. They could train more than I could train, or he could afford a better dog or something. And they'll say all that stuff. Doesn't matter. Most people will celebrate your victories. So be both. Be happy, enjoy the game, and if you choose to be extremely competitive, go for it. Give it all you got. Who cares? You're a winner every step of the way, just like my dog is. It's cool stuff. Hey, listen, have a great day. I love you being here. Thanks for that. I appreciate you being here. It's like you're in the studio right now. It's getting kind of crowded, though. It's a lot of people here these days. It's just... Yeah, move over.